Hey, this is Future Taylor reporting in after we had recording issues in this episode of No Limits. We have to redo the intro. So, you're listening to No Limits, episode 75, and I'm joined by my co hosts, Brianna and Sam, in this episode. Remember, you can find the video version of this podcast over on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia every Tuesday. And while you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you'd rather listen on audio, we are on all your favorite podcast services. We would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow and we would love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia and choose the tier that is right for you, just like our current patrons did. Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Lindsay, Nikolai Knight, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, David Harbright, Dave Harp, the Xbox Expansion Pass, Alpaca Tom, and Lee Navarro. Also, check out our YouTube at Save the Game Media, Discord, Twitter, Save Game Media. Links are all in the show notes. Back to the show, where Bree, Sam, and I are still talking about our pre-show antics and what we've been playing before we get into the main stories. Thank you. Well, we just had a few minutes of dealing with stream issues there, but we're back. This will probably be, you guys are probably listening to this now as a recording, listeners. But either way, we back. So,
we back.
We're talking about films, what you've been doing since break.
I was going to make an offer.
Okay.
I will watch Oppenheimer if Sam watches Barbie.
Good
I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
I
of
knew
course.
that was coming. No, I, to be clear, I don't think Barbie is bad. I just know I'm not going to really enjoy it. But I'll watch it if that's the deal. But then, like, is it going to be?
I'll watch it on my TV.
Oppenheimer, and then it's out of you're like half watching it, and you're out of it's watching it.
I'll watch it on my TV, and the only thing I will participate in activity-wise is crocheting. I have to crochet, or I won't pay attention.
I was going to say that. Yeah, crochet while you're watching.
Okay, well, but here's the thing. I don't necessarily need Bree to see Oppenheimer because I know that she's not going to like it. You know, if I have any sense of your taste, I can tell you're not going to like it. So would I want to subject you to 3 hours of a film that I know you're probably not going to like, just so we can say that you've seen it? No, that doesn't mean, by the way, that I might not necessarily just watch Barbie anyway, because I probably will, because I like seeing everything that's involved in all of the awards season stuff. So I probably will watch it, but please don't feel obliged to watch Oppenheimer.
All right, listen. It's either a deal or it's not.
You will straight up hate it, so I'm going to say the deal is off.
Okay.
But again, the deal being off doesn't preclude me from watching Barbie anyway.
And you could also make a different deal and offer a different film.
Yeah, but
Interstellar is off the table.
Why?
Well, that would have probably been the only other one. So
at least listen to the soundtrack.
I have.
Do you like the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Good. Dune.
I've seen.
Nah, that's not worth it. That's not worth the trade. I mean, I love the film. Don't get me wrong, but
it's not on the same level as Barbie. Barbie is god tier. Dune
well, okay. Well, let's not go too far here. Let's take a chill pill.
So, what games you guys playing?
Too many.
Turnip Boy 2.
That is the one that has
Turnip
avoided
Boy
me, unfortunately.
Commits tax evasion.
Yeah, I've just sort of been dipping my toe into lots of things.
Love me some toes.
I can't even remember because Bree, when we last recorded, I was talking about what
Christmas
was it?
Eve.
I recently played Metal Hellsinger, I think.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
And I was talking about the Before Your Eyes, the VR game.
Mm-hmm.
That game crushes people, from what I've heard.
It's rough, but it's like probably one of the best VR experiences I've had.
You can also play on PC with a webcam.
You can, but I think the immersion of being in the VR is something that sort of really, I would still recommend it to people regardless, because I think it's a worthwhile experience. But being in 360 full immersion is, I think it adds another layer to it.
Sam, I have a question for you. There's one game
Yes.
you have to talk about that we've already spoken about offline, but there's one game that we haven't talked about that I've been like screaming to talk about. Village.
Resident Evil 8?
Yes.
Who's been playing this for the
Yes.
first time? You? Sam?
Me. Yes.
Oh.
I I mean, I loved Resident Evil 7. I've explained, of course, I played through that for the first time fully through in VR. Platinum that game, did all the hardcore runs, speed runs, that sort of
You
thing.
didn't get scared?
No, not really.
How does he do
I mean, there were a few like of the jump scare sections that caught me a little bit off guard, but nothing drastic. And I've been meaning to get to Village, but it's just always something where there's been another thing that's taken precedence, and I finally got around to doing it again. Full playthrough, first time VR. Very impressive, actually, because obviously you can kind of, each of your hands in VR can do different things at different times. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think Village is funner to speed run than 7 was. And like go through and, you know, unlock infinite ammo and all the different weapons and stuff. I'm working on the platinum for it. I've probably done like 5 playthroughs. Like I can finish the game in about an hour and 40 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah, no, I like it. I don't love it as much. I think like 7 leaves a more lasting impression, but the sort of flow of 8 is a bit more enjoyable to repeat.
How did you feel about, as I had alluded to last time, the bed part?
The bed. Oh yeah. I'd heard of like the whole Beneviento section. I'd heard of it. It was cool. I liked it. I feel like in comparison to the rest of the game, it kind of felt out of place because it's the only time in the game that you're really in that kind of active running away stealth hide section stuff. I feel like if there was another instance of it somewhere else in the game, it would feel a little less disjointed, but doesn't change the fact that the whole vibe was very cool. And I guess spoilers for like 5 seconds of RE8. Being under the bed in VR, looking at that like demon baby was up close. That was quite something.
The spoilers over.
Yeah,
spoilers are over.
That section of the game in particular is why I would never be able to play it in VR.
I've heard things about the dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it. Sorry, listeners. Well, you already heard it anyway.
I mean that doesn't really give anything away.
No, it doesn't. But my God, like that part, there were 2 parts that I got scared. One part was really stupid and wasn't actually scary, and I actually got more scared. But that part under the bed was like, I was so scared. No, there was one part though that I got, like, I was so scared that I could hear like my hands shaking because I was on my keyboard and I could hear the keys like clacking from my hand shaking so hard. And it was this is like not spoiler part because the part, it like literally doesn't matter, so I don't know why I got so scared. I just scared myself. But it's like when you go in that crack in the wall, like in between, like on that cliffside, like there's like that crack you go in. That was all that happened. There's nothing that happens in that cave, like nothing. Yeah. And I scared myself so bad that I was like shaking.
Yeah. That
so yeah,
right.
That was 100% me.
Sounds about right. Yeah, no. So having fun. I've got to do one more run and then some of the mercenaries stuff to get the platinum, but I'll do that. What else have I played? I'll just walk through them because I've been talking for a while. I played Bramble. Me and you've discussed that privately.
So good. Fantastic soundtrack.
Enjoyed it. Yeah. I don't think I don't think I'm quite as enamored with it as you are, but I can still appreciate that it is a very unique and cool game, especially vibe wise. I've played some of Evil West, which we'll probably talk about in a bit. Not much, only like an hour and a half, maybe. More Beat Saber. I've played. Oh, Taylor, one for you. There is, because what is the? It was in your top 25, I think. The like retro FPS shooter.
Dusk.
There's one on the PlayStation Plus catalog, which I don't know whether you're still a part of or not.
Proteus?
Yes. Yep. I've been playing quite a bit of that and having a great time with it. I was like, if Taylor doesn't know about this, I need to make sure he knows about this. Been playing that. I've played a bit of Psychonauts 2.
On your little green machine?
No, on PS5.
Psychonauts 2 came out on PS5?
I mean, it came out on PS4, so there's not a native PS5 version, but
I didn't know
Psychonauts
2 was multi-platform.
Yeah, Kev seemed to not know that as well, because we were talking about the like Xbox third-party rumor stuff. He said it might be Psychonauts. I was like, well, for what it's worth, Psychonauts 2 is already on PlayStation.
I heard it was great.
So I'm playing through that, having a good time. The one thing I will say though, like the final game that I'll give a really big shout out to, recently platinumed it, is the Pathless.
Pathless has been on my list ever since the launch of the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, exactly. Same as me. Like, it was one of those things that I just loved the look of it. Obviously, Giant Squid has got quite a bit of renown as a developer. Lots of devs from that game company, did Journey and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I managed to grab the Pathless over the holiday sale, and I just adore it. It's quite simple, really, but just the flow of the movement, the art style, some of the music that kicks in, visual presentation. It's mainly like about traversal and like collecting things. There's not much more to it than that, but it's a bit Shadow of the Colossus-y in some of the sort of boss things that you encounter. I won't say too much, obviously. It's just gorgeous, and I had a really good time with it.
Awesome. Up on the list. Also, it's not on PC, is it?
I don't know, actually.
Oh, it is. It's on Steam.
Well, there you go.
Awesome. Bree, did you go?
Did I what?
Did you talk about what you've been playing?
Mm-mm.
Do it.
I have not been playing much. I've been reading a lot. Like, by a lot, I mean, I have read a couple fan fictions. One I was incredibly disappointed with, so I won't even mention that one.
4 out of 10.
I was so upset. It was a Zuko Katara fan fiction, and it was not good.
It was Avatar fanfic. Oh boy.
Yeah, but like, anyways, I won't get into it. But I was not happy with that. But no, I read like a lot. I think I read like probably 10 books, if not more.
Wow, in 3 weeks.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You read 11 books in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Bree, I haven't read 11 books in my life. All right.
Okay, that's definitely not true, or at least it shouldn't be.
I really don't know about that, unfortunately.
Anyway, so I read a bunch. I wasn't joking. I read like a bunch. I think there's, if you want to read fan fiction, there's a fan fiction called All Our Secrets Laid Bare. That one was my favorite fan fiction that I read. So freaking good. If you want to read just a regular book, When Gracie Met the Grump, it's a romance. It's so good. As you guys know, I'm not really into superheroes, and I'm especially not into Superman, but it's like kind of like a Superman kind of romance, and it was so good. Okay, that's all I'll say on
Is
that.
it a physical book, or do you do Audible?
You can buy it physical,
Or do
but
you do
I got
Kindle?
it's on Kindle Unlimited.
So-
That one was.
So do you read most of your books on Kindle?
No, I read most of my books through books.
So physical books.
No, like the actual app called Books.
Oh. So do you read them on your iPad, I guess?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I wanted to read a book before bed, but I didn't have a physical copy. It was just a well, actually, I'll get into this when I talk about what I've been playing because it's related.
Okay, no worries. Okay. So yeah, that's I also did in our Discord. I did like most of my 5-star reads from 2023. If anybody's interested. Okay, games that I've played. I played Grow Home, which is like a small-ish, little fun robot experience. It's from 2015. It's very clunky, like mechanics, but in a very charming way. It was fun. I don't know. It was just like a short little experience. I think I played it for like 2.5 hours. I did not 100% it, but I just beat the main story part and ran around a lot and messed around, and it was fun. Had a great time. The other game that I have been playing is Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2. So I finally got mad at Blasphemous, like the first one. I got mad because I'm trying to platinum it, but then I found out that like you can mess up one of the quests. That's like it's the most difficult trophy in my opinion. And so you can mess it up by going to somebody's grave before you get to a certain part in the game. But the guide that I was following to make sure I didn't mess up any of the trophies didn't say anything about it. So I didn't know about it. And so yeah, so I messed up and I have to like start a whole new playthrough. And I think I'm gonna have to do 3 playthroughs now, which is fine. But I got frustrated. So I started playing Blasphemous 2. And both games are such an incredible experience. If we had recorded my top 25 any later, it probably would have made it in.
So to be clear, Blasphemous, right? It's a Metroidvania Souls-like. That'd be the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
It is so fun, and the animations are incredible. It's such a vibe. It's like it's very like it has a lot of like Bloodborne vibe. It's not quite as like dark as Bloodborne visually, but it's just as gory and like the same sort of like gothic vibes. It's so good.
Yeah. I think I got Blasphemous for free. It's in my Steam library and I didn't buy it. I don't know the second game, but come around to
That
it.
seems to be happening a lot with you, Taylor.
Sam, if you're on PC,
I wasn't gonna say
if
it.
you're on PC for long enough, you'll forget you got games for free. Yeah, it's
That's
all
fair.
those.
The last game that I'll mention is 12 Minutes. I played that with my dad, which was
mixed things
fun.
about that. It was fun.
I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. There's like if either of you guys play it, there's like a twist in the story, and I was like yelling at the TV. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, there's something that happens that like if you know kind of thing, and I was literally like the first thing that happens in the loop, I was like yelling at the characters every time. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So yeah, I kept getting really mad at the game, but like not like mad because it was bad, mad because of the story pieces. But yeah, it was really good, really interesting. I'm only a couple trophies off the platinum because there's only like 13 or 14 trophies. So I'll probably platinum that just to see all of the endings. And then yeah, that's everything that I played. What about you, Taylor? What did you play? And also what's going on with the book situation? Because I'm interested.
Nice. You won't like what's going on with the book situation, but anyway.
Oh no.
First I beat Alan Wake American Nightmare. It is a video game,
Yeah.
you know?
It is. It sure is.
It sure is a video game. It is okay. I'll give it a 6.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Scratch is nice. I mean, nice as in like the highlight of the DLC easily. A lot of clips where he's hurting people, which is entertaining. That's probably sounds really alarming to say, but I wish there was a big show off.
I was a little spooked, yeah.
A big fight with Mr. Scratch at the end, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And next on the list is I've well, let me back up. I don't know what came over me over break, but I started watching a lot of videos of people flying planes, and then I started watching a lot of people doing simulated flights in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So when I came back from break, I had this urge to try Flight Sim because I have Game Pass and I have a PC, so I'm like, why not? And I bought this little guy for $40.
That looks mildly inappropriate. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Mm-hmm. You can move it up. You can move this up and down for throttle. It's like the beginner stick. But I'm playing around in Microsoft Flight Simulator with that, learning the rules of flying, how to fly in that game, what it's like, navigation. And I've been like obsessed with it. It's kind of bad. And I'm like, maybe I should start reading the pilot handbooks that the FAA released. So it's like nonfiction textbook stuff, Bree, not what I'll call book.
Well, that's upsetting, but that's okay. If you ever need a book recommendation or a fan fiction recommendation, let me know.
I've been flying a Cessna 152.
Don't do it.
It's a single engine plane with a propeller. And yeah, it's cool. Flying around. And yeah, but since I finished Alan Wake yesterday, I installed Control Ultimate Edition.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. Remember, you can't walk away from the recordings.
Right. It's okay. I think Alan Wake...
Annoying.
Alan Wake had a similar feature with the manuscripts. If you were to go to access the manuscripts, it would display the words on screen and read them out, and you couldn't hear them. Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking of the radios. In Alan Wake, in the Alan Wake Remastered, if you walk away from the radio after you turn it on, you won't hear what's playing. So Remedy they have a track record, Bree. What?
You can still access them later on in like the collectibles tab, though. You can listen to them if you want to. So. Yeah, whilst moving about, maybe not, but
yeah, you can't move and listen. Trust me, I tried a million different ways.
Yeah,
I was very upset about it.
I wonder if the way they program poltergeists in Alan Wake had any crossover with programming the protagonist's telekinesis powers and control. Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree. That would be interesting.
Who knows?
Me excited. Oh, and I purchased Alan Wake 2 on the Epic sale for a whopping $29 after tax.
That is a steal.
Yeah, and there's a season pass, which if I really like the game, I'll probably purchase.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the DLC to release before I jump into that, and also beat the game first.
You're all in.
Oh, I'm all into Remedy. And I played Max Payne 1 a little bit before we went on for break. But I'm also want to play those at some point and prep for because Max Payne 3 seems amazing. And I want to play that too. And also, Remedy's remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. Good times. Talk about your favorite cheesy noir story. Max Payne 1 is it, man.
Yeah. It's high up there.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
If you guys want me to fly a certain route in Flight Sim or fly a certain plane, let me know. I'll see if I can make it happen.
Can you... Never mind. Actually, take me to Tokyo.
Okay. There's... I don't know how to fly jetliners yet. I'm just on a single engine, like, little dinky plane right now. Maybe if I learn how to fly an Airbus A350 or a 787, I'll do San Jose to Tokyo. With time acceleration on. Because I'm not letting the game sit idle on my computer for 24 hours. Yep. Anyway, we're gathered here today to talk about the PS5 in 2024. What it's looking like. What roadmaps do we have? What games are coming? Predictions, all that jazz. So, I guess without further ado, we could go down the list of games we know are releasing that are significant. So we have Tekken 8, which is coming on January 26th. It's also coming to Xbox. Helldivers 2 on February 8th. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on February 29th. Foam Stars, both on PS4 and PS5. Rise of the Ronin on March 22nd. And Stellar Blade. And Destiny 2 The Final Shape for both PS4 and PS5 on June 4th. And also Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake and Silent Hill 2 Remake are slated for this year.
They sure are.
I think for first-party titles, might be kind of light, but as far as exclusives go, for time exclusives, I feel like there's any shortcomings here.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I think, of course, the optics right now aren't great for PlayStation. Like, even though it's, preferred platform and it's what our main topic of discussion is on this podcast, I think it's obvious that we need to note that. But I think it's nowhere near as dire as a lot of people seem to be suggesting it is. If anything, this is Sony's first year in a long time. I mean, technically, you could have argued 2023 was pretty light as well, first party. But this is sort of like the interstitial period that has been replicated. This is the experience that Xbox people had for a long time, where there just wasn't a lot of first party output on a consistent basis anyway, where you might have had one or two titles a year. And it feels weird just because PlayStation have had such a good cadence thus far. I think this year will rely mostly on third-party deals. I mean, it's obvious from the first half of the year. I imagine that will remain true for the latter half. But I still don't know that there isn't going to be a surprise of some form, either Q3 or Q4.
Yeah.
I've got that feeling.
Something in like probably October, November would be my guess.
Yeah. And like, it's not technically listed on this list because it wasn't involved in the PlayStation blog that it was attached to. But Concord is set for this year, supposedly, as far as we know. It was dated in the showcase last year as 2024. That's coming from Firewalk, which is the multiplayer FPS, the like vintage sci-fi trailer that we don't really know anything about. That is 2024, so that's first party. Technically, Final Shape from Destiny 2 is first party. Technically.
Right.
More so than not. And then if we get another surprise first party something in the latter half of the year, that's 2 first party releases and a big expansion for a game. So I don't know, that's not terrible. As long as both of those games hit, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine this year. Like, it will be fine. But I want more games.
It's all right.
Sorry, Taylor, you go.
Sorry. Twilight Princess HD might be coming this year, Bree, so maybe you can have that.
Say less.
That's not on PlayStation, Taylor.
Doesn't matter. I wish it was. I would play that on PlayStation so hard.
Yeah. It's strange because like I was sort of thinking about this a lot over the break, how we talk about it and what prospects are. And if you look back to like 2020, which was the launch year of the PS5, we got Miles Morales as a launch title, we got Demon's Souls as a launch title. Bluepoint technically wasn't first party at the time, but might as well have been. Astro's Playroom, if you want to include that.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't first party because it was Sumo Digital, but like an exclusive, sure. But like in 2020, alongside the launch of PS5 and those games, Sony launched Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima launched within a month of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
So
that.
it's like, I think we're seeing the ramifications of those kind of decisions playing out now, where PlayStation has had like a really great cadence of game releases from first party, but particularly towards the end of last gen, going into the very beginning of this gen, they clumped them all together. And now we're in that period where all of them are cooking on something and are relatively close to showing, if not releasing something, you would imagine or hope. But like, I don't know that they handled it too well. Because like retrospectively, you could have had Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost on opposite ends of that year. You could have, in my opinion, you could have even made an argument to have Last of Us launch around the time that it did, and then have Ghost actually be their PS5 launch. Obviously cross-gen, but like have it as another major launch title that you could play on PS4, but it's another big thing boosted immediately day one PS5. And I obviously don't know what that would do to shift like development schedules and whatnot, but I think that we're just in a weird space now. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that.
Wait, Sam, I think your audio cut out a little bit in the last sentence. Is that just me?
I think it was just you, maybe.
All I said was that we're in a weird interstitial period where.
Oh, okay, it's just the audio video weren't syncing for me. Never mind. Oh wait, no, they went away. Bree, did you see that? Or was that just me?
I think it's just you.
I'm losing it. Bree, wait, will you see Oppenheimer? Josh Peck is in it.
What does Josh Peck have to do with anything?
He's in the movie.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
So we finally broke Sam. I don't have much to say. I really feel like Stellar Blade isn't. Like, Stellar Blade is crazy, you guys. But we'll be okay. I have a huge mountain of backlog to get through. Even worst case scenario, nothing comes out. So it's fine. We can focus on other consoles this year.
I mean,
PS5 may or may not still sell ridiculously well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll still have my PC unless it's first party. For me.
Yeah.
PC. When I move in a couple weeks, setting up my PC next to my TV, it'll be my new console.
And like, there's stuff on here that isn't even included. Like, you know, we know we're getting another slab of Final Fantasy 16 DLC.
Right.
We're getting at least a major update for Spider-Man 2 some point soon. I would imagine in the next few weeks.
Raimi suit, shoot black webs.
You will be able to do that, Taylor. Don't worry.
I remember you like that. I was really excited.
I imagine, well, I don't know, but there is potential, of course, for on top of that, like New Game Plus update with all those improvements.
Of course.
We could see more stuff for Spider-Man 2 this year.
Maybe a DLC
paid
announcement.
Or otherwise. Maybe. And if they were willing to announce and release Valhalla that quickly for free, I can't see why they wouldn't necessarily replicate that in some fashion if there was some additional content for another game ready to go. So, yeah, time will tell. But hey, we've got a lot of big deal exclusives, third party, that have dates attached. So if it's a light first party year, Sony is great at third party deals regardless. So nobody panic. Everything's fine. There'll be a showcase this year. They'll tell you all the stuff you want to know.
Ghost 2 announcement this year, yes or no?
I don't see a world where that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I was right. I think they're going to show it this year.
Yeah.
Tough. Why? Okay.
I think it won't come out this year. I think it'll be next year. But announced, like, for sure.
I just want one game that's like I want a new franchise announced this year, not
Santa
coming out this
Monica.
year.
I think
want
Cory
a new
Barlog.
franchise.
Yeah, I think Cory Barlog's game could be announced as
Or
well. That would make sense.
Some Street Fighters fans would say Balrog.
Yes. One thing I would say, though, is that if we're talking about like maybe an exclusive first-party surprise for Q3 or Q4, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Bluepoint's IP could be up. I think that could happen.
Last Guardian 2? Wait, that wasn't Bluepoint.
I mean, it's a new IP, but...
Sorry. Maybe Ico remake. Huh? Uh-huh.
They say it's a new IP, Taylor, as in it's not a remake. But yeah, like if there was a showcase this summer that announced it and then release it late in the year, I think that's possible. Who knows?
I mean, maybe we should jump to it. Well, actually, no, it is the next story. It's related to maybe some games we get this year.
Yes. The God of War trilogy might be getting a PS5 remaster. Speaking on the Xbox Era podcast, industry insider Nick Baker. Is that Special Nick?
It's not
maybe
Special. I don't know someone by the nickname Special Nick.
Okay. It's ringing a bell. Anyway, Nick Baker, who is an industry insider, said that a remaster of Kratos' first 3 adventures, quote, might be happening, end quote. This comes after God of War Ragnarok's free Valhalla DLC was released, which has heavy story tie-in to that original trilogy. Baker said in 2021 that there was a, quote, chance of a new Infamous being announced at a PlayStation showcase, but that event that year came and went without any mention of said series. A year later, he then claimed that there was a new Sly Cooper in the works, which prompted Sucker Punch to outright deny the speculation. So, track record, little sketchy. When it comes to PlayStation, I'm pretty sure if it's who I'm thinking of, he's got a decent track record, but maybe not specifically with PlayStation. Anyway, Sony has previously remastered God of War 1 and 2, as well as the PSP titles on the PS3, and God of War 3 was remastered for the PS4. But you would assume, if this is correct, that it would be some kind of bundle collection thing.
Yep. Oh, and this comes to us from Sammy Barker at Push Square, and the first story came to us from D'Angelo Epps at PS Blog and Michael McWhorter at Polygon for the PS5 2024 roadmap. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
Thoughts, Taylor?
I want it. I want to play God of War. I told you guys, I want to play God of War 1 and 2 before I play Valhalla DLC. And people said I was crazy. I was out of my mind. They said, Taylor, you should check yourself in somewhere.
I did say that, yeah.
You are. Then they started sending me threats.
I didn't do that.
Look who's on top now. All right. If this rumor's true.
One big caveat there.
It's a small detail. This is what Bluepoint's working on next, guys.
Could you imagine?
Actually, who would develop the remasters? I think it would either be Santa Monica or Nix's.
I don't know.
PC ports, but anyway.
If it's true, I could even see it being outsourced somewhere. Again, it depends on like how much we're talking. Like, is it more remastery or is it more remakey? because that would dictate obviously the amount of resources and time and, you know, man hours that would need to go into working on it. Because, like, could you imagine the thing that Corey Barlog has been working on this entire time was just a remastered God of War trilogy? That would crush me. I don't think that that's the case, but I don't know. I for some reason, this, if it's true, reads weird to me that it could be internally at Santa Monica. For some reason, I just get the vibe that it's not. If true.
Fair enough.
I would agree with that. I think that it makes sense for it to be like some sort of third party that's not Santa Monica. They've got too much going on. Bring in the bucks.
You'd think, because like particularly doing like a trilogy, the full trilogy, assuming that like the PSP games aren't included, which I doubt they would be, but you never know. I'd love it if they were, but I don't think they would
they'll
be.
pull a Kingdom Hearts 1.5.
Stop it. Yeah, like that is a different kettle of fish compared to something like Naughty Dog doing part 1 and part 2, because Last of Us was a PS3 game. And you know, it's up-resing, redoing models and stuff, and like of course there's more minutia there, but that's far less substantial than bringing a PS2 game and revamping it up to modern standards, assuming that that is what this would entail, as opposed to just like a port up-resi remastery type thing.
That's what I expect it to be. I don't expect it to be anything more than up-resed.
I just like it, but if that's the case, I just don't see the point. Because like who?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just in my head, who on PS5 right now is longing to go back to playing a PS2 game, even if it's attached to God of War, as popular IP as it is right now?
Not me.
I think it just might be more money, because how many more? I think the amount of consumers that are now attached to the God of War series since 2018, I'm going to guess, makes the former fan base before the release of God of War 4, it dwarfs them in comparison. So you now have a lot of new consumers on board and new generations of people who play video games with no exposure to the first 2 titles. So I think it's just still pretty easy investment to grab that you can make a return on if you just up-res it and spend the money to bring it over natively.
Sure, but like I agree with you entirely in terms of like the audience growing and stuff, but then that would lead me more into doing like an actual remake type thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because they've set precedent with Last of Us. In the show being there, they want both games to be at the same standard of quality. They want it to be easy for consumers to buy. If you're trying to get new people to play the original games, a remake makes far more sense, particularly if they've got the God of War show coming and stuff. I don't necessarily want that. It would be cool. I'd play the hell out of them. Of course I would. But the amount of additional resources and investment in that, I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't prefer Santa Monica or whoever is working on it to just be doing something else instead. But
my dad just started playing God of War 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he just beat Last of Us Part 1. So.
Yeah. You know, Taylor, basically all this means you've just got to play Valhalla, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll play God of War 1 and 2 first.
I need to finish that. I keep forgetting about it.
Do it! I am so desperate to talk about Valhalla. Like, so desperate.
Look, I can wait, all right?
It's
Barbie?
All I'll say, Valhalla does some of like the best narrative stuff that God of War has ever done.
Really?
Yeah, like I think if anybody watching, like, I will recommend this to pretty much anyone. If you have even a passing interest in God of War as an IP, I think you simply cannot not play Valhalla. Like, the contributions it makes to the ongoing narrative, to the lore, the callbacks, etc., it is like obligatory for you to do if you want to know what's going on and you care about what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not just a fun DLC with a few tidbits here and there.
And it's free.
Tangible stuff.
It's free with the game, at least.
And it is free.
$3.
Well said.
I wait with bated breath, Taylor. You know, the time will come.
Who's trying to bait my breath? What's the bait?
Me. I'm just baiting it. I'm hanging a little Kratos shaped bait, just splashing it in the
Kratos
water.
shaped, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've made one. I'm Googling it.
I wouldn't.
Bree, do not Google that.
That's
why?
I mean,
I'm not going to show it on the screen.
Here's a joystick.
I know. I saw.
It's called a joystick for a reason.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
You're right. Bree, you want to bring it home?
I'm kind of doing something. I'm kind of Googling something right now.
Kratos.
No, I can read it. Okay. New PS Plus monthly games have already hit by the time of recording. So we have Plague Tale Requiem for PS5, Evil West for PS4 and PS5, and Nobody Saves the World, PS4 and PS5, and then Warframe. Does anybody know how to say that word?
Syrinx?
Sure. Collection, which is add-on weapons and armor for Warframe. I have added a Plague Tale Requiem. I already have the first Plague Tale. Now I have the second Plague Tale. So now I can play both of them. Will I play both of them? At some point, yes. Not right now. Oh, also, this is from Adam Mitchell at PS Blog. Anybody going to be playing any of these / has played any of these?
I mean, I might as well go because I did talk about it earlier. I have played a couple of hours of Evil West. I've already played through Plague Tale Requiem because I had to cover it for IGN. Thoroughly recommend it if you liked the first one. It's a definite improvement. Yeah, Evil West. It's like the most PS3 game I've played in a long time, and I don't mean that in a condescending sense. It's like a third-person, very linear shooter that has... It's so hard to explain, but just like if you look at gameplay of it, you'll just know what I mean. It feels rudimentary in practically every sense, like the presentation, the acting. Not that I'm having a dig at any of the actors. Like it is like a corny, schlocky shoot 'em up thing. But it's fun. Like that's the baseline, that it's just entertaining. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good or even great or anything super positive, but it's fun if you just want to mindlessly blast
Get
stuff.
a platinum.
I'm tempted, but it's one of those where I'm enjoying it, but I don't know. Okay, I can't phrase it that way because I know I've played bad games specifically to get the platinum. I will power through bad stuff if I know I can get something very easily. Evil Dead is like, it's not great, it's not even good, but it's like playable. It's not buggy or anything. But the platinum does take some effort, so it's kind of like in that no man's land, and I don't know whether I want to cross over through the barbed wire to get the platinum. You know,
Yeah.
Like it's not short enough that I can just justify it regardless, and it's not fun enough where I would do it regardless.
Makes sense. What's your platinum number right now, by the way?
I think I'm at 276.
I was gonna guess 275, so I would have been right
I
on.
have 2, baby.
You're so close, Taylor. So close.
I have 20. I'm just kidding. I don't have 20. That was a lie. I can't even tell a lie for half a second. I don't know how many I have.
Yeah, but time will tell. I'm interested in also trying Nobody Saves the World, but I'm not convinced I'm actually going to.
I have 8.
Spider-Man 2 for me. Bloodborne, I'm 4, 5 trophies away.
Are you,
and
Taylor,
they all
are you
relate
muted?
to completing Chalice dungeons and getting. I'm muted. Yay!
Yay!
I'm like 4 or 5 trophies away from Bloodborne. They're all related to different endings and New Game Plus Chalice dungeons, which happy to play the game again. Not happy to go back to the Chalice dungeons. I was holding out for
just
a
save
PS
scum,
patch
Taylor.
at some point, but that's never going to
Just
happen.
save scum.
Some people do, some people don't.
Well, I could save scum at the last. Right, I'd have to at least get my current playthrough to the final sequence. And do that.
I did for the first time in my life the other week.
So wait, but how do you save scum? But you can only save scum if you're offline, right?
No.
Or could you just save your save to a USB drive and then upload it back to your PS5?
Or like cloud
Or
save
cloud.
if you've got PlayStation Plus.
And then turn off cloud save.
No, so there's like a thing that you can tell it to automatically, like to stop doing the automatic updates.
That's what I'm saying. Turn the automatic.
Yeah, so you
then
turn
you
that
manually
off.
upload it, and then you have to manually download it.
Right.
It's far easier than it sounds.
No, I think
I was upset by how easy it was.
Because when I'm in the middle of playing a game consistently, I'll always check to make sure a cloud save at the end of my PlayStation.
And you can like set it so that it's only like I believe, if I remember correctly, that it's only that one game that's doing the manual save versus all of the games having to be manual. So
yeah,
it was upsettingly easy. Not happy about
There's
it.
no shame in it, you know.
Shame.
I'm pretty ashamed of myself.
Oh, shout out for 2024 games, Elden Ring DLC. I know it's third party, but man, Shadow of the Erdtree is going to come out this year.
Or is it third party? You know what I mean?
No,
what? Or is it? You know what I mean?
Think they're going to do a timed exclusive?
I do.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
if they buy them,
they could buy From Software.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it would still release on other platforms because Elden Ring is on other platforms. But I was just sort of,
There is a. Does anybody have anything else to say on this number 3 story?
No.
Okay.
Good lineup.
It is a good kickoff to the year, to be fair.
I'm gonna hear from Kevin, I'm sure, about playing Plague Tale again.
And Nobody Saves the World. He loves that game too.
I will not be playing that, I don't think. Okay. There is a topic that's been on our doc for several weeks now that I would really like to get to.
Okay.
Taylor, would you like to introduce a topic, or would you like me to?
He's your favorite developer, so we'll give it to you.
My favorite? I don't know about that.
He makes your favorite one of your favorite games.
One of, yeah. What narratively based game franchises do you think will live with us for the rest of our lives? In parentheses, next 50 to 7 years. Why are you giving me a lifespan? You don't know. I'm just kidding. If any. Is that sort of thing achievable in the gaming landscape, or is Yoko Taro in a league of their own? This is referencing Yoko Taro working on Nier Forever.
So by this, do you mean franchises that will go on for that long?
Yep.
Okay. Because, like, you could interpret that question as live with us, as in we will hold it dearly within us.
I mean, literally, will it be around for new titles? Will new titles of that franchise still be made that many years from now?
Well, I'll say right out the bat, Nier. Nier will. Probably Kingdom Hearts as well.
All Nintendo, I think, will. Mario and Zelda will. Pokemon, Animal
Mario
Crossing,
and Zelda.
Splatoon. Well, maybe Splatoon might have a sunset date, but like Mario, Zelda, Smash, Animal Crossing, Pokemon. I don't. Metroid.
But some of these you're talking about aren't narrative-based games.
Never go. Well, you're right. They're not. All right, I said narrative-based. Sorry.
Zelda for sure.
Zelda's narrative-based. Depends on the Zelda game. What?
They all have a narrative.
I know, but they're not narratively based. You don't play Zelda because you love the story. You play because you love the adventure.
No, I play because I love the story.
Oh my god, fine, Bree.
Not joking.
I hear Tears of the Kingdom has the best ending in the franchise, for the record.
If we ever get to the end of that game,
Kyle, I'm sure we'll talk about
shocked.
it later today on a Game of the Year episode.
Probably.
Yeah, because you're like, thank God it's over. I can go on to play a better game. You know?
No, but yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts will still be going in 50 to 70 years.
You really think so?
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts 4 has already been announced. Everything up through Kingdom
50,
Hearts
70
3
years.
It's true. It's true.
Right, but how long did it take to get from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3?
About Tree Fitty.
But who's to say that Kingdom Hearts 4 isn't going to flop and kill the franchise?
It won't.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Kingdom Hearts 4 is like, so Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3 and all of those like games that were included in the in-between is one story arc, and that's just the setup story arc. So we're supposed to be getting into like really good, quote unquote, really good story now. So Kingdom Hearts 4 on is supposed to be like really jumping into like the heart of what they want Kingdom Hearts to be, pun intended.
At least they finally figured it out, you know.
Sam's just
they finally figured out how to name their games using whole numbers. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
They lost away when they said 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix, but they're back with Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4. Unless they release 2.5. Well, we already said 2.5. Unless so I think we're out of the decimal era. Right?
Yeah. For now.
Oh God.
So, I suppose as like another baseline for this question, are we agreeing to omit stuff like licensed IP games?
Yeah.
Because like Marvel games are always going to happen.
Oh.
I meant like franchises like Insomniac Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or that are because developers, there are franchises that have been handed off between developers over time. So that's not
because like Spider-Man games will always happen. Insomniac Spider-Man games aren't always going to happen.
Exclude licensed titles as you see fit.
Okay. At my discretion.
At your discretion, yeah.
I think it's a good question, because I don't know whether I'm being pessimistic. I just don't know that there are any actual real competitive things here that could. I think if you're optimistic, there are plenty that you could see happening, but I think that if I'm taking this question as literally as possible, the games industry and the landscape will shift so drastically that I just don't know that IP as we know it today will survive.
Do you think Final Fantasy will?
Yes, I do. Final Fantasy, I think, is a brand they could do whatever they want with. Look at 16.
Yeah.
And 15,
I think that's certainly a likely candidate. I think that is the kind of thing that is, because I don't know if I guess technically you would want to consider franchises that are like the most innovative across entries, constant reinvention.
Yeah,
so
they're very flexible with Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy would make sense. I think potentially like Resident Evil is another one.
Elder Scrolls?
I don't know about that one.
Elder Scrolls. I wonder how many times they port Elder Scrolls 6 before we get new Elder Scrolls. All right. Well, I also don't know if
And
Elder Scrolls
also,
survives or Fallout survives.
yeah, it's like
Once
with
Todd
with
Howard leaves
how
Bethesda, I'm curious what happens behind that legacy.
I still think that like Todd leaving won't impact new Elder Scrolls games coming out. I just think that for some reason Bethesda seems so adamant on sticking with Creation Engine, and it's like actively hurting their games now. Like before in previous gens, it was like, oh, cute Bethesda jank, that's adorable. It's part of the charm. And with Starfield, you've kind of seen that charm worn off. And as far as we know, they seem to have suggested they are going to be using Creation Engine for Elder Scrolls 6 and all their games moving forward. Obviously, they'll iterate on the engine, but still, if they keep doing that, as opposed to creating a brand new engine and really having something like mind-blowingly new for Elder Scrolls and Fallout and stuff, I don't know that they have much life left in them outside of like a couple more entries in each franchise.
It's an easy one. Is Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
D&D won't ever go away. I agree.
I think
God of War doesn't go away. Maybe that's my hot take.
that was literally what I was about to say. I was trying to think of PlayStation IP specifically. I think God of War, assuming they are able to innovate as much as they did, not necessarily to the exact extent of Ascension into 2018, but if they find new ways to change up what God of War is, I think that has legs to it inherently because of the whole pantheon mythos hopping stuff.
Assassin's Creed.
God, I hope not.
I mean, at this rate,
sports games, right? I think that's pretty safe to say.
But again,
those ones aren't narrative.
Right, they're not narrative. You're right. Story. All right. Rare exceptions.
We're getting tenuous here, Taylor. We're getting tenuous. I don't know. Like maybe Uncharted.
Well, I'm waiting for them to reboot it. All right. Any day now. Drake's daughter. Let's do it.
Exactly. And if that game plays at least somewhat differently than typical Uncharted, I think that's a springboard for the franchise.
New Uncharted announcement. Mm-hmm.
You think as a prediction?
Announcement. Maybe.
From who?
San Diego. Weren't they the ones poised to make it?
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. Because it was Naughty Dog, and then it was Bend, and then it was Naughty Dog again, and then San Diego are working on something in collaboration. So, yeah.
I just looked it up. Kingdom Hearts 4 is rumored to be coming out next year. That makes me very happy. It'll probably be 2026, but I'm going to pretend it's 2025.
Yep.
A lot of people might say something more like quaint and quirky, like a Ratchet and Clank, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about Ratchet and Clank in terms of narratively based video games.
Because
Horizon maybe, but
no, God, Christ, for the love of God,
no.
I mean,
and this is coming from someone who loves Horizon. It's like put out the MMO thing with NCSoft, put out a multiplayer game, release Horizon 3, leave the IP alone, do something new.
Good point.
Unless, because as I've suggested, without actually going into detail, unless they really go in the direction I think is obvious for them to go in with Horizon 3, if they don't do that and it's just like another Horizon game, then I really don't think there's any more bandwidth for it. If they go in the direction that I hope they go in, maybe, but I don't know that they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
even though it's like obvious from the ending of Forbidden West. I would have said Ratchet and Clank, but something about, I mean, we had discussed, we're all, for context, aware of the roadmap from Insomniac. I've got a feeling that next slated Ratchet and Clank game is going to be the last one. I've got a sense that from the narrative stuff that happened in Rift Apart, there's a very easy way to tie a nice bow on the IP with a next final game, particularly because we supposedly know that Insomniac are moving on to new IP 2030 onwards, which is just after this Ratchet and Clank game comes out. I think that a new IP takes over from Ratchet and Clank, which I'm both sad and okay with.
Maybe it'll come back eventually.
Don't say that, because then I'll get my hopes up about Resistance, and that's just going to hurt my soul.
We already talked about that. Resistance is coming back sometime.
No, I will not allow it.
On emulator, all right?
Listen.
I played through Resistance 3 because of the streaming on PS5.
If it wasn't for me, Sam wouldn't have played through Resistance 3 again on streaming.
It wouldn't have been.
I ought to say.
Yeah, I owe you for that one.
Yep, buy me PSVR 2. And to try Gran Turismo 7 on VR, because I heard it's...
I'll take a rain check on that one.
Okay. Man, we're coming up empty-handed, guys. What's all this passiveness I'm hearing?
I gave a bunch of answers.
We need to be more assertive. Bree, you're right.
Listen, it's not my fault that you guys are like, listen, we have one answer: Nier, Zelda, and Kingdom Hearts.
Zelda's
like,
not
what else do you need?
Well, I said I didn't include my. Hold on. No, I didn't. It wasn't PlayStation only, so yeah, across any franchise. Halo. I don't think Halo goes away.
No. Let's be brutally honest, guys. Okay, Halo needs to die. It needs to go away. It hasn't been relevant in like at least a decade.
Reboot the franchise and make Arbiter the main protagonist.
This
is the way.
Nope.
Give it let it die for like
the IP
20
was
years.
Tainted with 5. It was tainted with Infinite.
They're making more of the TV show.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
Season 2 is coming. Master Cheeks, just stop it. Let it die.
Oh man,
it's not relevant. Xbox don't need it anymore. They just don't need Halo.
All right, Gears. I don't think Gears will go away.
I mean, where is Gears? I'd be more okay with Gears staying than I would Halo.
Doom.
Like, I'd be actively upset if they announced Gears 6 was like the end of Gears, but Halo is carrying on, because Gears has had a comparatively impeccable track record.
Yep.
So that would make no sense to me, unless the Coalition were just like, we're done. We don't want to do this anymore,
Doom,
which is fair. But
like we said, these will stay with us.
Yeah, maybe Doom more than Wolfenstein, I'd say. I mean, the elephant in the room. Like, do we think Call of Duty is still a thing?
Is that narratively based because of the campaign? We're going to shoot it in.
I mean, we can include it because each one has a campaign.
Will be around for at least 20 more years.
Yeah. Do you expect like a new thing to take its place in that super popular FPS space?
Unless EA turns it around with the next game, I expect Battlefield to die off by the end of this decade. Unfortunately.
Probably.
Between 2042 and the launch of Hardline.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Battlefield 1 was cool, but it didn't get the player base I think they were expecting. And 2042 was a complete disaster. Battlefield 1, underrated game, for the record. Let me just say. All right?
I platinumed that game. I loved it. I loved Battlefield 1.
Wait, can you platinum without multiplayer?
No, I played multiplayer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a testament to how good it was.
Right.
I'm trying to think, because like my mind keeps going to other big narrative series like BioShock, but BioShock is like, where's BioShock?
you want to call it the Shock series, maybe I'll believe you, because we had System Shock.
System Shock, sure.
BioShock was a spiritual successor. We haven't had a new
Yeah.
BioShock game since Infinite, but I've heard Irrational is working on something particular, or Ken Levine is doing something new.
Well, Ken Levine's doing Judas, that game that was announced at the Game Awards. I don't think Irrational is doing BioShock anymore.
Right.
It's got like Cloud in the title. Cloud City? No. There's a studio that is working on a BioShock game. Hasn't been like formally announced or anything.
I think Resident Evil will stay with us.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's all right. You can say it again because it's a good pick.
I guess Devil May Cry isn't narratively based. It's really an action game first, but I feel like I want to shoot it.
Yeah. Is there? Because I don't think like. I'm trying to think of like CD Projekt. I don't think Witcher or Cyberpunk has those kind of legs.
Maybe Baldur's Gate. Maybe.
I could see that. Actually, yeah.
Because we had a ton of time between Baldur's Gate 2 and 3. Maybe Diablo might also be staying there, even though Diablo 4 has had a troubled launch. They could still turn it around over the next few years.
Yeah. Maybe I know it's kind of cheating because it isn't one specific franchise, but something I would actually love to see is Remedy's Connected Universe carry on.
Right.
Which is technically an umbrella over multiple
Hand over
franchises.
Quantum Break, Xbox. Quantum Break 2.
Nah, we can just skip that. Go straight to Control 2. That's fine.
Alan Wake 3. Well, Control 2 is probably coming now. I think they mentioned it. It is coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's a thing. They're working on it now.
Remake. You know what they're probably going to do?
Yeah.
Remake Max Payne 1 and 2. Remaster Max Payne 3. Max Payne 4 is going to exist eventually.
Max Payne 3 gets a bit complicated because that's Rockstar, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think they'll acquire the rights or get Take-Two's permission to succeed. Well, no,
make a lot of money.
Probably not without a big cut from Take-Two themselves.
Yeah.
You think Red Dead? No. Do you think?
No.
Grand Theft Auto, I think.
For sure. Yeah, 100%. Yep. I can't see that not always being a thing.
Are there any other Japanese? Are there Eastern titles that we're missing here?
Again, we're kind of on the same wavelength. I was trying to think of other Square Enix stuff.
Fire Emblem, I think.
Stay
around.
Persona.
I think Persona or Shin Megami Tensei. One of those two stand the test of time. Technically, Persona is the Shin Megami Tensei. The first Persona was technically Shin Megami Tensei 2. It was a spin-off, I think. But they're both connected. So I think one of those two will live on, definitely.
Yeah. No, I think my barrels run dry.
Whoa, Sam, that's a little not safe for work.
Anyway.
By the way, I looked it up. There's nothing. Speaking of not safe for work.
Well, Bree, here's your opportunity.
To make a God of War themed stuff.
There's a gap in the market.
God of War themed
clearly
used for illicit purposes, yeah. Not illicit. Special purposes behind closed doors, yeah.
Does it count that there's because technically there's a Thor's hammer, but that's not God of War.
This is interesting.
So I don't know if that counts.
Tough knows.
If it's not specifically,
it's not. It's Marvel
Mjolnir
specific.
from Ragnarok. Then
it's not. It's from Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Okay.
Well, good show, y'all. A little bumpy getting started, but we're back.
Yeah.
When isn't it?
Don't forget, we gotta edit this.
We gotta edit it, Right. There's around 3 minutes or so that'll take out a shortcut.
It's like 5, but yeah.
Okay, Bree. You know, why don't we just stop yelling at me?
Children, stop fighting.
Yelling.
Okay.
I'm not yelling.
Also, shout out, we're recording our Game of the Year episode for Save the Game after this. Be on the lookout for that episode. We'll probably, that'll be thrown on the feed. So, yeah. My Game of the Year Turnip Boy. So, thank you all so much for listening. You can find us on YouTube at Save the Game Media. And don't forget to check out our Discord, Twitter at Save Game Media. Links are all in the description. Where can people find you, Sam?
Anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney, Heaney.
All right, including inappropriate websites. All right, Bree.
Those two.
You can find me at Fabulous Brianna, FabulistBreanna.
Nice. By inappropriate websites, I meant, MySpace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, you can find me as Taylor on the Discord. You can also find me on Mastodon as Webcam Consumer 45. If that account exists, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to Google it right now. Webcam Consumer 45. Nope. I don't think it exists. Here's my opportunity.
But now it does.
Anyway. Until next time. This has been No Limits, episode 75. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.